Ladies and gentlemen, it's your brother Bolo VNR. We here with another video. In this one of the financial class edition. Ralston Hyman joining Colin Bell on the Colin Bell Show on Port and Spice TV. You understand? And also Mr. O'Brien, treat the hard way. Some of the revelations, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely shocking. Right? And, you know, the Prime Minister came out on the offensive talking about misinformation, but it appears that the Prime Minister is the one that has been spreading misinformation because of a lack of knowledge, or he knows the right thing, but he's telling us the wrong things. Yes? And misleading us. Like what, well, I don't want to preempt the conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into the content here. Let's go.
All right.
You tell Andrew little more how to include the opposition because him say him not figure out how to include the opposition. Little more. I tell you, a peer joker going on there, major clown show. I run at Jamaica. We have Rally on the line. Rally morning.
Morning. Well gone.
Midday, my brother. How you do?
Yeah, man. Good man. Up and running,
sir. Whole heap of things up on the line. And I heard you yesterday giving a lesson to the finance minister of how you deal with the measurement and your GDP in a disaster.
Yeah, man.
Now, Raleigh, you were saying that the government should give GPS the extension and make GPS go look the money.
Yeah, man.
Based on the utterance, you think that has been done?
Yeah, it sounds so.
So why would the government not just come announce that and...
You know them say, man, they run the country like them personal business, you know. So them don't want to come and talk them things, yeah? And when people ask them questions, them say, a bad mind, or them things. Because they run the place like them personal fees them.
So we now learn that the government not really getting 6.7 billion US, but just about 3.6.
3.6 billion.
So why they coined it that way? 6.7 billion. Why was it coined that way?
Because them always try like to the people, man. Because they want to get the impression to great them great. So when the Prime Minister announced it, he must say, a great him great, that couldn't happen 30 years ago. Yeah? And we couldn't get them concessional money 30 years ago. The only time we couldn't get money from the international capital markets between 2012 and 2013. And
unless the people miss it, I want to hear the Prime Minister. I want to listen to this.
Yeah, but here's the problem now, Madam Speaker. How do we borrow? If it were 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we would not be able to approach the IFI. We wouldn't even be able to approach the international community. But
Raleigh, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we couldn't approach the international community. 20 years ago was what? 2005. What was the
intervention? We're tired of the labor right. We're tired of the green people. We are so far. We can't take it no more. We need it. Help. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength is a liberator.
20 years ago, 30 years ago, we couldn't approach the international community. 20 years ago was what? 2005. What was Jamaica's economic position 20 years ago, Raleigh?
20 years ago, we could get money to borrow from the international community. At that time, we weren't even borrowing from the IMF because we paid off the IMF. We never went back to the IMF until 2010, when Andrew was the leader of government business in the House of Representatives in the Bruce Golding government. And they never even know which agreement, but they take a full agreement and couldn't live up to the terms and conditions, and man, they locked out of the international capital market. So since Peter Phillips come now, we can get back and make our name back in the international capital market. And we can tell all of the trolls them, check IMF, check World Bank, check the ratings agency, and make them tell them when this thing started, when Jamaica became welcome back in the international capital market, and who started. And while we were doing that, the same foolish Minister of Finance, Jonas, used to say, all right, I pass IMF test and not pass the people's test. Sign anything with the man them tell us to sign. Yeah. That's the history and them to the trolls them can check it on any of the international agencies.
Wait, hold on, we have been joined by Conrad O'Brien, but Obi, your background kind of noisy. There's some noise in your background. Raleigh, was there a time outside of that period under Bruce Golding that Jamaica could not approach the multilaterals?
No. No.
So,
I want to see what the Prime Minister, our next line will tell is about concessional funding. Multilateral funding is always concessional funding because that is where them set up for. IMF money, World Bank money, always money between 1 and 4%, not more than 5%.
So you are saying that the Prime Minister...
What if I told you your daily walk could be your most creative work time? With Whisper Flow, it can be.
Embarrassing! We need some milk!
Madam Speaker, how do we borrow? If it were 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we would not be able to approach the IFI. We wouldn't even be able to approach the international community. But
so, 30 years...
The only time that was 30 years ago. Garbage.
So let's go back to 30 years ago, which would be what, 1995?
Yeah.
What was the...
You know, I mean, in 1995, we showed the Prime Minister out of touch, and that's why he shouldn't be around the country, because I don't know about the country.
Tell him!
In 1995, we paid off the IMF. Our JV's PJ participation.
Embarrassing! We need some milk!
Consecutive IMF test. The JLP administration and the fancy.
What was the...
You know, I mean, in 1995, we showed the Prime Minister out of touch, and that's why he shouldn't be around the country, because I don't know about the country.
Tell him!
In 1995, we paid off the IMF. Our JV's PJ paid off the IMF and said, ta-ta.
So,
embarrassing! We need some milk!
Andrew, you hear that? You hear what me in 1995? But because on not build a school in Jamaica, on a plan to abuse the people them dunceness, on to come out and spread these misleading information. About 20 years ago we couldn't. How would we borrow? Like said, you are the poster boy from borrowing. Man, nothing like so, brother. Eh? And the evidence there. No, man, let's play that back, ladies and gentlemen.
30 years ago, which would be what, 1995?
Yeah.
What was the...
You know, I mean, in 1995, we showed the Prime Minister out of touch, and that's why he shouldn't be around the country, because I don't know about the country.
Tell him!
In 1995, we paid off the IMF. Our JV's PJ paid off the IMF and said, ta-ta. Omar Davies passed 12 consecutive IMF tests. The JLP administration and Mr. Tiaga couldn't pass a full IMF program. Rubbish.
Hold on. So the Prime Minister said 20 years ago.
Embarrassing! We need some milk!
Conrad O'Brien, morning.
Good morning, Colin Bell. Good morning, Ralston Hyman. How are you doing? And to all the listeners and viewers, I greet you all in the mighty name of Jesus Christ this morning, because he continued to cover us. Listen, Raleigh and Colin, is it that the Prime Minister is just blatantly lying to our people, or is it that the Prime Minister don't know these things? The Prime Minister is not appraising himself of what is happening, because certainly we're at a conundrum. We're hearing things that should be on the lips of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister should know why the Prime Minister is saying that these are so. Because when you hear even the utterance, Raleigh and Colin, about the 30 years ago and 20 years ago, we could not approach when we didn't even have a borrowing relationship, because PJ Patterson and Omar pay off the IMF and say, ta-ta.
Embarrassing! We need some milk!
5. We weren't borrowing from the IMF.
We need help, Jesus! Jamaica need help! Shift the parliament! Shift the election! Shift everything! Remove them out there!
Pay off the IMF and say, ta-ta. Talk to me.
So 20 years ago, 2005, we weren't borrowing from the IMF. So
no.
We would definitely be in good standing. We could have just approached them.
Yeah, man.
So why the Prime Minister come around now? Tell these kind of lies.
By the way, to show the Prime Minister out of touch and lie. Hardly Shaw used to say, Omar Davies just take up him phone now the Ministry of Finance and call him friend and get money to borrow. That was what the criticism of Omar Davies.
Yes.
What?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, Colin, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
Yeah, man, morning, you're listening. So, actually, I'm listening to the conversation, and I appreciate them, but it's mind-boggling for me as well, as a hard-working, tax-paying citizen. So I think these questions that are...
Hey, y'all, please remember to hit the like button. I know y'all come in sometimes, and y'all forget, but the main thing, man, y'all gotta hit the like button, man, and share the live stream. Come on now. Stop playing.
Support, support, support. The like button is free, heard?
Complete. What is with
I said.
and the numbers keep moving, large numbers. I move on to say,
The road, so we just want to talk to Ralston. So,
oh, okay. Right.
Thought you had a question for him. So the fact that you do have a question for him, we'll go back to him and then you can call him back. All right?
No problem. Because I want to listen to Ralston.
Yeah, man.
Colin, the caller just now mentioned something, and you talk about the OUR, about the percentage in terms of the restoration of the country that JPS is saying. Yesterday, the headline of one of the dailies stated that the OUR cannot verify the information that the JPS is giving out because they don't have the capacity in terms of manpower and so on. Colin, that is telling. Ronnie, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, well, most of those institutions now the kind of people that is needed, to run those places. Most of those public sector institutions are letting down the country. Yeah, man.
But shouldn't
so that's another thing we need to review.
Shouldn't it be a case though that they employ the necessary manpower tech?
I learned that ChatGPT works best with detailed prompts, but I hate
technology and shouldn't it be a case though that they employ the necessary manpower technology on a need to basis? They wouldn't have to keep it up.
Yeah, man. If they must serve the country properly, they must do that.
Right. So why is it that the JPS went down? You had an experience with Hurricane Beryl just last year. You should have known sir, from JPS go down. You employ the necessary manpower for the time specified to deal with the gathering of that kind of data.
But Raleigh and Colin, by way of question, could the OUR unilaterally go on and take on those extra person that they would need, or this would have to basically be collaborated with the government by way of budgetary support?
They need budgetary support to them to
you need collaboration, Obi, but somebody have to approach somebody. So if the OUR was firing or the government was firing on all cylinders, somebody should have said, listen, we can't just take JPS word, or we're not going to just take JPS word. We have to do an audit as well to verify what it is that JPS is giving to us. So
here's the problem with those institutions. OUR people are paid by the utilities people. And them fund OUR, JPS, Water Commission, and the Telecoms Company.
And they would want to tell you, no, we get funding from a fee taken from the bill.
Yep.
But the needs still be, and it just keeps opening up a can of worm every time they go to the PAC. More things come out showing the incompetence that is out there.
Yeah, man, right across the public sector and central government.
Ralston, I want you to explain this money because they try to tell the government, the people, that it's 6.7 billion. Now we understand that it's 3.6 plus another 700 million that the country had as a disaster insurance kind of plan. No,
go ahead.
The 2.4 billion rally. Explain that to the listeners and viewers for us. How that 2.4 billion.
So the loan amount from the multilateral agencies, IMF, World Bank, CDB, Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean, and IDB is 3.6 billion. And then them are doing 12 million in grants. And then IDB and World Bank said they are helping to mobilize 2.4 billion in private sector investment. Right. Now if you look at the record, the tourism can go up on the BOJ website. Net foreign direct investment flows fell from 854 million in 2017 to 204 million last year. So there's no surety that we're going to get that kind of money in this kind of environment filled with uncertainty created by Donald Trump. So get that.
So you are saying that, and at any time in our history have we ever gotten this amount of foreign direct investment?
No.
Never. What is the highest we have ever gotten?
In the 2006, 2007 when Omar was there.
We get $1 billion. And was that about the time when we had the Spanish invasion?
Yeah, man. Omar, PJ, yeah.
No, one of my concerns, this government, for quite a number of years now, have not been able to spend their capital budget.
Yep.
Little bit of money. This is a massive turn up from that. The government has never shown us that kind of ability. What do you expect going forward, Ralston and then Obi?
Strangely enough, the financial secretary capital budget for this year will be cut by 2.2 billion to 55 billion. So although we have Hurricane and them still cut the capital budget, and you can bet them not going to spend all of that. Where the Prime Minister now said procurement will be subjected to AI. So let's see.
Procurement will be subjected to AI. So AI are going to determine if everything is in line.
Yeah, man.
And what you say?
Obi. That was my say yesterday.
Hold on Obi, go ahead.
I'll urge the PM to be careful there, because even in the great United States, they are questioning as to whether or not they are going too far with this AI scenario. So let's pencil that down. As it relates to the capital budget spent over the years, and we have to use the template that there. We have seen nothing in train to show that, listen, we will have a better spend this time around, even with the hurricane there. Granted, there might be something, but we have not seen that as yet. But I want to just detain Raleigh one moment, and the point with the 2.6 billion that is by way of investment mobilization. Raleigh, I want you to stay there a little bit more and explain that to our people, because this.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the AI argument there. So, I never know that procurement is going to be governed by AI, the procurement process. AI is going to be responsible for the procurement process. I want you guys to go back and listen to the video that I last posted with Pastor Peter Chambers. Go and revisit that video and then talk to me in the comment section. If you see any connection, please and thanks. Alright? 2 days ago, or a day ago, from December 6th, posted a video with Pastor Peter Chambers, his latest voice note that he sent me. Go and listen that video, ladies and gentlemen. Mighty God. Let me just go back a little and hear what Mr. Whoa, what is this? Hear what Mr. O'Connor is saying.
So let's see.
Procurement will be subjected to AI. So AI are going to determine if everything is in line.
Yeah, man.
And what you say?
Obi.
That was my say yesterday.
Hold on there. Obi, go ahead.
I'll urge the PM to be careful there, because even in the great United States, they are questioning as to whether or not they are going too far with this AI scenario. So let's pencil that down. As it relates to the capital budget spent over the years, and we have to use a template that there. We have seen nothing in train to show that, listen, we will have a better spend this time around, even with the hurricane there. Granted, there might be something, but we have not seen that as yet. But I want to just detain Raleigh one moment, and the point with the 2.6 billion that is by way of investment mobilization. Raleigh, I want you to stay there a little bit more and explain that to our people, because this is not guaranteed money. It's not a loan that is there that we have to draw down. It's about persuasion and trying to get people. And you have just said that the last year what we had 300 and something thousand. That's a
million.
That's a far cry from 2.6 billion US dollars. So I think we need to just, wheel that in a little bit. Make that thing in.
I need to point out something though.
Right.
With JPS drawdown being 450 million, that means JPS alone will be taking $450 million of that private sector loan. Raleigh, is that so?
Yeah, man. It's not happening.
Well, that's what the minister said.
Well, let's see.
But let me play what the minister said, Obi. Because the minister said, this is what the minister said. Hold on. This is what the minister said. Let's go to the minister. Right to the minister.
Of that program. Okay, and my last question is loan to JPS. The $150 million US loan, I know you mentioned yesterday that based on what they needed within the money that we are going to be getting from the international community, there is an allocation for JPS to also get part of that. I think the overall amount I need, correct me if I'm wrong, is maybe 300 million US, I think I heard it said. So they're getting an extra maybe 150 million from this package. And I just wanted to know, since they couldn't get, or the argument was that they couldn't get loans on their own prior to coming into this situation because they didn't get the extension on their license, I wanted to know if now that they're getting this money from the international donors, if that loan was done based on a guarantee from the Jamaican government, which would then maybe add to our overall debt. I just wanted to get a clarification on that. Okay, so remember, in the 6.7 billion that was announced, 2.4 billion of that earmarked for private sector lending. So any amounts to JPS would be in that window out of the 2.4. So we don't have to guarantee that debt at all? No.
Okay. So you're Raleigh, anything GPS I get, I come out at the 2.4.
Yeah, man.
And that's why we have signed off on the whole thing that JPS has got the extension. Because remember, the minister said in his speech that JPS wanted 15 years and they would have found the money. Or the multilateral will give them the money, but they have to get 8 to 10 years.
Yeah, man. The World Bank and IDB, man, them said 8 to 10 years. Yeah, so more than likely, them agree to that. If the man will raise the money for them.
That's what them say. That's what the minister
said.
Any money where JPS I get, I come out at the 2.4. OB have a different view.
No, that's my view, Colin, and I must commend you because obviously you have called it. Of course, we have called it early in the piece that this seems to have signed off by the JPS indeed have already got this money. Remember that the night, the same day when Vaz went off into a charade in the parliament, he basically assured us that he will have pen in hand to sign off on the $150 million the same evening and that JPS would get it. So just to add to what you said earlier, Colin, JPS seems as if they would have already gotten that $150 million even before this was concluded. Would I be correct to say that, Ronnie?
You would have prior knowledge that's why that's what they were doing.
But Ronnie, here's the question. Could the government have given JPS that $150 billion or access to it? Even though the financial secretary told us that the negotiation is still ongoing?
Yeah, but I'm not going to tell you the truth. Yeah, so that's why he had prior knowledge that they have this agreement going. Remember, so the Prime Minister said negotiate it at capital.
Yeah, but maybe
Daryl
never know. Because remember Daryl in the parliament and said no Melissa, no Trelisa, no Tresisa, no Shelisa. Can't make him change his mind?
Yeah, I mean, I said him said that because he knows them are mobilize the money.
Yeah. So it was to kind of carry us wide, but he would basically be in the loop that they were mobilizing. Raleigh, since we're trying to get the information out as much as possible for people, the 2.1 billion then that will be remaining.
It's not 2.1, it's 450 million GPS are getting up.
Oh, sorry. So
call it roughly 1.99.
Yes, so that amount that would left running, what would be some of the things that would be needed to be done by government here in Jamaica in terms of the nimble government that we are saying we need to have at this time for that additional amount to be picked up and to be used in the Jamaican economy?
All right, so one, the finance minister would have to demonstrate a greater level of competence so that investors become confident. Two, they would have to rehabilitate the infrastructure as quickly as possible. Those are two main things that investors look for. Confidence, infrastructure. Yeah, the power grid will have to be up and running to them three things there. Telecoms grid will have to be up and running to. Yeah. So they will have to rehabilitate infrastructure. And the Prime Minister, the Finance Minister will have to demonstrate a greater level of competence. Yeah. Things that much try to make the world scared right now.
And one must also remember, Raleigh, that the point that you just touched there is very, very important because one must remember that the telecom sector is dependent on JPS because as the young lady you had yesterday in your program, who is the chief communicator from Flow, said that they are certainly tracking behind JPS because they depend on JPS to roll out for them to follow.
Raleigh. The company that provides us with LNG. You remember their name after that now? Someone in the Fortress?
Yeah, New Fortress. Yeah, New Fortress.
That provides us with LNG. Are you picking up that there's any issue with them? And are you picking up that there is a high demand for LNG and the price for LNG will be going up shortly? Are you picking up any of that in the financial space?
Yeah, man. But it's still the cheapest. So what things where they will have to do to inspire more confidence is to stop this thing with the ship out there and try to have more LNG storage on land in Jamaica. That's another problem with investors. Because every time we have a natural disaster in terms of a hurricane or a storm, they have to move the ship and put in a safe harbor. And that means JPS have resort to expensive diesel fuel and them things to run the light, creating a big problem. So that's what they have to look forward to, taking the thing from the ship and bring more storage on land in order to inspire more confidence.
I want you this week, Raleigh, or next week, look at that company because there are some things coming on the radar that company is coming under some pressure as it relates to their finances. The other thing, Ralston, is that this money that we are going to take from the IMF, and what a lot of people missing out, it is not to invest in new projects. It is to build back what was destroyed. How much of that can the government put into investment, into new areas to ensure that we have a growing economy when we start taking this money?
All right, so the IMF money is the balance of payment support. That have to pay for the things that we import. IMF money not used for that. So take out for 415 million out of the 2.6 million. That left 2 billion and change. The IDB and the World Bank said their money of the specific projects identified by the government.
Yes.
Yep. So we, the opposition, the private sector, and other people, then cannot allow the government alone to identify these priority projects. So we need priority projects in building out infrastructure, rural infrastructure. We need priority projects in terms of building out alternative sources of energy policy, rural infrastructure, agriculture, which includes storage and all of them stuff there. Yeah, logistics, and creative industry. Those are things that we need right now if we are going to accelerate growth and don't put back our children into slavery in order to pay back this money. So we can allow them to choose the priority projects because they're clueless.
Just before you come in, Obi, at what time period should the government make the country aware of the projects that they have on hand? Because the Prime Minister said them have projects.
Tomorrow. Should I do it already? Tomorrow. The quicker you move, the better.
Raleigh, yeah, thanks, Colin. Raleigh, we talk about the rebuilding process because like COVID, what happened when they were talking about how much the economy grew, we know that there wasn't any real growth in the economy. What was happening is that we're just building back capacity, and it is a similar thing that is going to happen now. Are you still of the view that the place to start from is what we describe as ground zero, and that is why the whole business of block and steel and concrete should be important for us to start there so that we could see the value added, the multiplier impact from this? Would you suggest that we start there in earnest?
Yeah, man, and that is why all Jamaicans must object to the move by the government to import containerized houses from China. All the experts will tell you those things are not climate resilient. Even a category do try to set them and blow them in the sea. That's one. B, the same foreign exchange we borrow, we are wasted at import things we could have making in Jamaica. C, the contractors and the builders in Jamaica are here ready. So if you want to get the economy up and running, you should have started with the man already and start build those houses in those places to create work for the man who live in them places because the man them tired of charity. So we should have to create work for the tradesman in them places and of the local contractors, so it have a multiplier effect on the economy and you start moving faster. What am I doing now? I use the same money work for borrow to build up foreign country and give people work foreign rather than Jamaican people. Rubbish.
What can go so? What can go so? What can go so?
And you start moving faster. What am I doing now? I use the same money work for borrow to build up foreign country and give people work foreign rather than Jamaican people. Rubbish.
But Raleigh, shouldn't that be a major outcry?
Yeah, man. That's why I said all I have to cry out. Yes. Let's notice that the master builders and the construction people have been putting out statements about that, but Jamaica not supporting them. Everybody's silent.
I not really in opposition either.
No. Everybody's silent.
But this is a crazy move just before you come in.
Madness.
This is a crazy
we just have a foreign exchange and then I send it out back. The rubbish the matter here.
Go ahead, over.
That's the point, and I'm going to be bold this morning. I expect to hear this carrion call from leader of opposition Mark Jefferson Holding Marky G, led and brilliant and followed in a big way by his 3 members of parliament, five members of parliament in the west, the extreme west, or 6 in the extreme west. Where they hand over two in and over, the 2 beautiful ladies hand over, up to Nikki, and of course the 3 gentlemen there in Westmoreland, Campbell, Hales, and Vaz. I expect them to be calling. Just one sec before you come in there, Colin. I spoke to engineer Dr. Burgess, and Wednesday I had him as my guest, and you also had him, Colin. He said that if we start now, we could build out between 3,000 to 7,000 houses per month because we have the capacity to do that. Permanent housing for people.
Our country that work already.
Absolutely.
Income. Yep. And the shop them would have run and all of them things there. And the government will be able to collect more GTT and they don't know what they're doing. And that's why I must stop making them bother up. Them don't know what they're doing.
We're not surrender to no government badness. We are taught the truth. No matter who the guy is, that's our mantra.
I am going to make a commitment tomorrow.
We need a divine intervention. We're tired of the labor right. We're tired of the green people. We are so far. We can't take it no more. We need it. Help. straight is a liberator.
We don't surrender to no government badness. We are taught the truth, no matter who the guy is. That's our mantra.
Well, I am going to make a commitment. Tomorrow, the NEC of the People's National Party meet, and I am a member of the NEC, and I am going to present the case on the floor of the NEC and ask for a buy-in of the opposition to say it loud. That we should not, and I know that they are members because I know that the MP from East Portland does not support containerized housing. And no Jamaican should support it.
The technical experts in construction don't support it either.
Exactly.
So I have to go with them on the set. Yep. Yes. And I'm saying from an economic standpoint as an expert, it's a waste of foreign exchange. All they do is create jobs for the people in the countries we are imported from, rather than create jobs for the man in the West who are work. The captain, the mason, the steel man, them, yeah, the man who sell weed, the man who sell Guinness, got to fight them down, they should have run already.
The first project that this government must do is to build out the housing stock and use that to cause mass employment. So all of the money will lose them work at the hotel, them at the call center, them.
They go work in a construction.
Right away, 3 months time.
Yeah, man.
And by that time, the hotels will be up.
Yep.
So you bridge that gap, Mr. Prime Minister.
And here what we could also see coming out of that rally and Colin. We could also see some new emerging entrepreneur and so on. Where people go into the construction sector, recognize that this boy may like this and things like that, and decide to venture into it as a career.
Of course.
So multiply effect on the economy. All the cook shop them would run already and all that. They know what they're doing.
That is why.
No, ladies and gentlemen, you know, when me hear the experts them talk and them mention this, me know some, you know, my mother and my father do a good job. Isn't this the same thing that I have been saying? The government should have reached out to these people, find all of the skilled workers them, and start build back the house them fast like a rocket. On the hear what the man say, the people them say, them can build 3,000 to 4,000 houses per month because them have the capacity to do it. Then, ladies and gentlemen, the 5 weeks gone. If the government had the mental fortitude, the brains, right, and the care for the people, and I decided to go forth and listen, you know, the national committee, right, get all the minds together, right, even those people, right, and say, listen, well, Prime Minister, you know, say, we can be able to build out about 3,000 to 7,000 houses per month. And real house, concrete house. Yes, concrete house. Obviously, there will be some need for some of the places to be abandoned. And, of course, that would have to be assessed. Right? But the areas that can still build on, you build upon them and assess the other area at the same time. Right? It's not rocket science, no? It's all about the man them caring. Brother, may I tell you, say, the more and more that I view the government and what they're doing and not doing, but telling you, I said it before, it's like these dudes are literally trying to sabotage the people them of this country. May I talk about the regular man? Because there should be millionaires emerging from the rebuild. Regular man, regular Jamaican construction worker, right? I have certain skill set, election. There should be millionaires in the next 6 months because this is prime. We don't need nobody to hire nobody from outside of Jamaica to come and send the money. All of these remittances, all of these US dollars, we will not borrow. Not going back to the people of Jamaica. And then the same people of Jamaica have to pay back the loan. How is that growing the economy? What kind of nonsense is that? And people all on the see a green. And now look for the common sense factor of the thing. We need to come down, man. See, this is embarrassing. I don't know rocket science, brother. The man them just so wicked, bro. The man them just so wicked. All it needs is a little bit of care. But I digress. Right? Wanna go over there and make sure say wanna go support Colin Bell. You understand me? I deal with Portland Spice TV. Make sure so go over there and go subscribe and click the bell and click all, right? Make sure it's shown up on the screen. The page itself, if you let me I deal with it, I don't know. You have to give credit where credit is due. See that? Portland Spice TV, ladies and gentlemen. Portland Spice TV. Alright? The discussion goes further. But these parts right there, I mean, a lot of information, you understand, and definitely will give you some insight. It's your brother Bolo VNR, and you know, blessings and honor to everybody. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Like, share, and subscribe. Alright, let's get this video to 10,000 likes and 2,000 shares.